Hey guys, KRX50 here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the LBX Achilles from Danball Senki. This is a night frame LBX used by Banyamano for the first half of the series. So, because this is a model kit and not a regular toy, I'll be going about the review of Achilles here, as well as the other future LBX reviews I do, in a slightly different fashion. As it's something you have to build and put together as the first step, we'll first start by taking a look at what the build is like. So for that, we'll set it aside and take a look at the instructions. Opening it up, you can see that this set consisted of 4 runners, 3 for pieces and 1 for joints. It makes use of red, blue, gold, clear red, white, and dark gray plastics. And it also comes with a sticker sheet. Now the way building an LBX works is that you basically build the main components for the customization, then put them all together. As shown here, you can split up the runners to sort them by what part they're used for, and then, via the full color instructions, it guides you step by step on how to build the LBX, as well as guiding you on how to put on stickers, such as using little indicators to show you where to start putting on the stickers. Then when you're done, it'll show you how to put the whole thing together, and then how to make the weapons. And you'll see that there is a part of the instructions that's cut out, and I'll get to that in a little bit. So next, we're going to do what I call the parts breakdown. So the parts breakdown is where I'm going to be breaking down the LBXs into their main customizable components, that being the head, body, left and right arm, legs, and weapons, which consist of 1 weapon, 2 weapons, or in this case, a weapon and a shield. And in this case, there's also a cape. And so I'm doing this because since this is a model kit and it's a little bit more fragile than your typical action figure, it's easier to do this, to look at the pieces individually, and it makes it easier to take a look at their articulation without having it break down. So starting off, we have the head, which consists of white, red, and dark gray plastics. And then the stickers are this gray band around here, the gray arrow on the forehead, these 2 black bands that go from the front to the back, these 2 details on the side, and the 2 stickers on the inside that form the inner face and eyes. Then you have the torso, which consists of dark gray, blue, and white, with 3 stickers. 2 here, and then 1 here, which is actually covering a clear red piece. This also allows me to show one of the special features of LBXs, which is the core chip. So in the video games that LBXs come from, you not only customize the body parts, but also customize the core unit, which gives it different stats and abilities. And so for the model kit versions, you also have a little bit of customization here in that the core unit piece actually can be removed. It's a little tricky just because you kind of have to push it in and then kind of use your nail to get out. In this case, I'll just use the weapon here. So as you can see, it has 2 different configurations you can use, and then you can set whichever one you think looks best inside the body. Cover it up with this panel, and then place back on the chest panel. Now this core unit actually becomes a little bit more important in some of the later kits, but as far as these early kits goes, as far as the early kits go, they are basically just another customization element. And so you've also got another sticker here on the back. Then you have the arms, which consist once again of blue, white, and dark gray. So for the articulation, it has a moving shoulder pad that swivels on a joint, a rotation joint at the bicep, hinge at the shoulder, single joint elbow, though there is a little bit of a interesting trick here to the shoulder, or rather the elbow, where you can actually give it a little bit extra range of articulation by pulling it slightly out of the joint to the point where it looks like that. Then it allows you to bend it a full 90 degrees. Then the wrists, the fists, which are on ball joint wrists. This one, and for these you can also extend them out a little bit to give them a little bit more range of motion. And for the arms, the only stickers are this blue band around the bicep. Then you have the legs, which consists of white, blue, dark gray, and gold, and have no stickers on them. So for these it's a little bit more complex, as first you have the hip skirts, which are on 3 ball joints. Then you have the legs themselves, which are on ball joints at the hips. So you can rotate them like so, and then have a very free range of motion. A single joint for the knees, but like with the arms, it has a little trick where you can extend out the joints to give it a little bit extra range of motion. Then the feet, which are also on ball joints and have that same kind of trick, where you can extend it out and get a little bit, get to have a little bit more range of motion, as well as the feet themselves having a bit of a tilt, both side to side and forward and back. The weapon is the Achilles Lance, which is an unpainted piece with no stickers on it. And this is the kind of thing where this is something as unfortunate as this is, as far as the modeling goes, or as far as the proper colors go, supposed to be a silver piece with black here for the handle. So it would have been a little bit nicer if this was done up with some kind of silver plastic, so that they could just have a sticker that goes around here. Then you have the Achilles shield, which is consistent of gold and blue. So this entire thing here is a separate plastic piece rather than being a sticker. Finally, you have the cape. So, as shown with the instructions, there's a piece missing, and so for the LBXs, when they have capes, it's actually a separate piece that you cut out of the instructions. In this case, is a nice red color to it with an A for Achilles. And despite what you might think, this is some pretty sturdy paper. It doesn't rip too easily. It has a little bit of folds just from some usage and wear. But these are sturdy, and you can actually kind of fold them a little bit to get them to kind of change the angle of how they fold, and for the most part these work. So then, you can put it together. We're just putting on the head, then popping in the arms, and hedging the legs. Although, you do want to be careful with some pieces, as they don't always attach, or rather stay attached to the ball, so you might have to plug them back on occasionally. And actually, for the cape, take off the head again, put the ball joint through the hole here, and pop back on the head. And for the lance, it has two ways of holding it. You can either remove the little cap on the bottom and slide it through the hand, or remove the back part of the hand and then put in the handle and secure back on the other piece. For simplicity's sake, we'll just do the former method. Though this is another case where you might experience the piece kind of popping off. Just screw that back on. Then for the shield, you're actually going to take it from the bottom and slide it into the fist. Now this is definitely one of the trickier parts, as often if you try to slide, when you try to slide in, it'll kind of want to pop off the back of the hand, or make it a little loose. So often you're probably going to have to basically put in and then kind of secure or tighten up the hand. Though a solution to this would basically be to glue this back piece just onto the hand and fuse them together, which is what I'm probably going to do after this review. And so with it complete, you get a few more joints, have a ball joint head, then a separate neck joint, which is also on a ball joint. You got the arms, which can move forward and back, up and down, and once again, these are ball joints, so it has quite a nice range of motion. Then you have the rotating waist joint. And I do apologize for little mishaps here and there. But this is basically showing that you have to be pretty careful with these things, as they can come apart on you. But that is basically just one of the kind of things that you have to deal with these being designed for customization. And it is just a little bit tricky, but it is manageable, and I guess for the time being I'll just leave this off and just put it back on later. Yeah. Just gonna put this back on. And I'll just cut here and equip them with the weapons. So, with the weapons re-equipped, last thing to talk about is the custom dice. So, because in the games, the parts for the LBX are what determine their stats, Bandai decided to make a game out of the model kits, using the kits themselves, the LBX custom dice here, and the actual boxes. I'll get into that I'll go over that in a separate video sometime in the future, but as far as the custom dice themselves go, they consist of 2 cap pieces and then 6 dice plates that correspond to the individual parts. And each one has a different attack point or kind of damage strength for the different pieces. For Achilles, you have the head with an AP of 500, the body with an AP of 300, the arm count is one plate with an AP of 200, the legs, obviously one piece. You have an AP of 100, the weapon has an AP of 300, and the shield has an AP of 300 as well. And so I'll also go into this with the customization, but basically when you customize the LBXs, you kind of switch out different dice plates according to which parts you're using, as these are included with all of the LBXs from the first two seasons. But overall, I'd say LBX Achilles is a pretty solid kit. I definitely like LBXs better than a lot of other model kits because the idea here is that these are both 1-1 scale, so there is no different kind of grades. It's just all one scale of 1-1 kits that are, you know, same kind of size and shapes as the ones in the games and anime. And they're also designed so that they make the most of the different plastic colors and they don't have too many stickers, so it's not too bothersome. Obviously, since this is one of the earliest kits, it's a little bit rough around the edges, but I'd say it's still worth a pickup if you are a fan of this kit, or of this LBX itself. Of note is that this is one of the few that was released in the United States under Bandai's Sprue Kits line. This is part of the Sprue Kits Level 2. So you can find this at retail stores, and from what I can tell, the only difference between the American kits and the Japanese kits is that the American ones don't come with the custom dice. Or rather, from what I've seen, they come with the plates, but not the stickers or the caps. So that's just something to keep in mind. And I will be doing a build video just to kind of show you what it's like to actually build an LBX at some point later on. But for now, this is definitely a nice kit. It's got a nice design to it, and it's certainly a worthwhile building and kind of modeling experience. So, for my next video, I'll be doing my Tokutori theory on Kamen Rider Meteor Storm. But for now, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, or share it, and you can check me out on Facebook at facebook.com/krx50. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.